Hey guys, welcome back to another cinematography video. My name is Zachary True. I create videos on cinematography by sharing tips from some of my latest projects. This video is not sponsored by the lens that I used for this shoot, which was the Sigma 24mm f1.4 prime lens, and it's not a lens review. This is an educational tutorial showing how this lens can create different shots in various low light scenes. I'll be going over various gimbal movements I use and camera placement. Stick around because along with this helpful tutorial and behind the scenes, I will share my reasons why I think the 24mm f1.4 is such a good lens to use in low light cinematography. I see pretty good lights over there. Okay. Let's walk over there and see what we can do. Okay. Let's have you kind of lean. Oh yeah, this looks good. So a key tip here is when you're looking for lighting, I like to pay attention to where the direction of ambient light is coming from. Ambient light from shops are good sources of key light, which is what illuminates your subject. Here, Courtney is centered in the cross light of the frame, which adds depth to the shot, making it cinematic. I like to also pay attention to the background and see if I can add more detail and interest with some practical lights like street lamps.
Behind the car?
Yeah, right behind that car.
Okay.
Yeah, but don't walk through that parking lot. We don't want to draw attention.
So just stop right here.
So here's why I chose a 24mm lens at 1.4 and not a 35mm or 50mm or even a mid-range zoom lens that can capture it all. For the shoot though, I was very intentional about using this prime lens. I wasn't going for a tight, compressed background telephoto look that you would get from a longer focal length such as the 50mm and up. I wanted to go for a softer look with just the right amount of separation from the background. The 24mm focal length is wide enough to show what's going on in the background without adding too much distortion. And if you move closer to your subject at a mid-tight shot, it still makes them look flattering. Let's take a look at how I composed the sitting shot of Courtney right here. I like the symmetry of the two lamps behind her as she is centered in frame. Here's another angle that I liked. If I were to do a dialogue talking scene here with another actor, I would definitely use this camera placement to show this. And then we're gonna stop near those elevators.
Yep.
So the last thing you're gonna do is push the button on the elevator.
Got it. Okay.
Zoom lenses usually have an aperture as wide as f2.8. Although that is suffice enough for low light in most cases, I find that 1.4 really creates that shallow depth of field that I'm looking for. You can allow the most amount of light through your lens, which is suitable for low light conditions. Creating smooth movement on a gimbal was incredibly easy, and it's personally my favorite because you can freestyle and do so much with it. This was my favorite part of the shoot as it worked perfectly for us. Okay, yeah, exposure is much better. Even at f1.4 with a prime lens and 12800 ISO, it's still kind of underexposed, kind of dark. So we have a little bit of time before the fireworks start. Usually it's like 4 minutes, so I'm gonna try to get as much shots as I can. I'm gonna hope for the best. For these movements, the best shots were a push in to pull out with a gimbal. I find that it really adds a dynamic effect to the fireworks popping in the back with Courtney. Two shots I needed here were the wide establishing shot to give context and a closer tight shot of her watching the fireworks. The 24mm focal length was pretty versatile here for capturing the action and the reaction. I used the widest aperture at 1.4 to have the best exposure because I was shooting at 60 frames per second. Also, because it was slow motion footage, I had the shutter speed at 1/120 to get the natural motion blur.
Woohoo!
Nice.
Nice.
Sick. Okay.
Circling back around to the spiral parking garage, no pun intended, it was interesting to create some shots with a wide angle prime lens. I was able to extend the gimbal above me as an overhead shot of Courtney. This wouldn't be possible without a wide angle lens like the 24mm because I wanted to show the spiral patterns below her. These were just some lights coming from the parking lot, and I was pretty glad that it was well lit for us, and we didn't have to use any lighting equipment. This wasn't something I was conscious of because I've been practicing cinematography, so I knew that having motivated lights such as these in the frame is a powerful way of showing a scene. There's different ways you can elevate the aesthetic, but I find that backlighting your subject is always appealing. The best practices of cinematography at night is about looking for ambient lighting and using depth to compose your shots. I was glad that I was able to use this lens with the intention of showcasing different environments the model was in. Overall, I think that this shoot went super well because not only had I planned ahead, but we were able to adapt and improvise based on our situation. We got the main shot that I wanted for the night, which were the fireworks, and I'm proud to add these pieces as part of my work. If you enjoyed and got value from watching this, please check out some more of my videos on my channel. Also, I've included Courtney's Instagram handle in the description so you can check it out and follow. Thank you guys for watching, and as always, take care.